Hello, my name is Logan Shaw. Welcome to Logan's Story. Today's Black History highlight: Yasuke, the first black samurai. Thanks for coming. Let's get into it. Yasuke was a 16th century African man who became the first recorded foreign-born samurai, serving the warlord Oda Nobunaga in Japan between 1581 and 1582, arriving as a bodyguard for Italian Jesuit Alejandro Villano. His stature and intelligence impressed Nobunaga, who granted him samurai status. He was present at the Honno-ji incident. So, there's a lot to take in when we're talking about the first black samurai, the first African-American samurai, coming to Japan, being under the teachings of a certain Judopo and the training of being a samurai. And with that, there's honestly some things you can take away in terms of this whole thing. And one of it is the, out of placeness that it brings. Although the out of placeness does bring such glory and magnificence in terms of what we can see, being such an astute character in the society we live in. But the thing is it's not exactly that. It's not exactly just that. There's many things that come across in terms of this, and that thing that comes across is, the beauty that is the out of placeness that it brings. But see, the thing is, a black man being a samurai, carrying what it means to be said, beauty in the terms of the society that he lives in. That's something that's never been seen before. And black men, white men, whatever you want to call it, a black samurai is interesting because it's disciplined on two factors: his blackness and now his newfounded samurai-ness. And what I mean by that is you're disciplined as a black man in a certain way, and you're disciplined in this new fashion as a samurai in that same way. And that's what brings things to light in terms of all this craziness. It's the beauty that is lying with Yasuke, the first black samurai. But here's the thing. What are the nooks and crannies that we can look into about this? What are the things that we can see about this character that, not character, but real life person that we can astute to our own lives? Well, let's go into detail. Okay, so when it comes down to it, Yasuke is a black samurai. We all know this. And he carries an astute amount of power and discipline. And he became one of the most notoriety and notable samurai in the world. I mean, just because you haven't heard about him doesn't mean he's not real. He ended up being kind of a great image for people who want to continue down the path of any sort of martial art or line of defense. And that being said, Yasuke was a hero in some senses. He was what Jackie Robinson was to the League of Baseball. And that's the standpoint in terms of history, and what ladles over into the greatness of what it means to be a certain kind of prestigious figure. But that's not all. What in the world is he thinking? Why would he want to be a samurai? But how can that make sense to himself, being an equation that's part of a full formula that cannot be broken? Here's the thing. When it comes down to being such a power, being such a responsibility, there's something with it that carries over a sense of pride and a sense of humility. And Yasuke showed both of those intently. But here's the thing. How can we show that? How can we show humility and just like him? But first, what's his beautiful baby? His beautiful baby is the idea of becoming a figure known as a samurai. He was the first black samurai, and he ended up changing the rules for every single person that's ever seen a samurai before, and he ended up following the rules that go with it. He was a true hero. But here's the thing. Being a hero and stuff, showing the prideful and humility and such, what can we take away from this? Application, of course. When you think about Yasuke, and you think about his character in doing so, what is something that you can take away that ends up being part of you? Well, a samurai is supposed to be humble. A samurai is supposed to be shaded. A samurai is supposed to hold a line of duty that no one has ever seen before. And that line of duty ended up being what Yasuke brought up. But here's the thing, and this is what I want you to take away. What can you do to bring the line of duty to yourself? What can you do to be humble in your everyday life? Yasuke found the ways to be humble and be, well, in the line of duty when he could. And that's something that's great. But here's the thing. In our everyday life, no matter what we're doing, what are you doing to not sit around and wait for things to happen? What are you doing to make sure things do happen, and that you can make something of yourself in the midst of it? Yasuke did. Why can't you? Thank you for my application, and let's close out. Thank you for coming along this Black History highlight. There are more highlights in the future, so keep an eye out for those. Also, the mission is 1,000 subscribers. You guys can get there by hitting the share, like, and subscribe button right on the screen. Also, by hitting the bell. Leave a comment if you can, too. Also, follow me on Patreon if you can. Link in the description. Thank you again, and peace.